to CVS 2.0, so the new platform, which we did officially launch on February 1st. And we will be discontinuing February 28th. It is a more intuitive interface, and it provides more streamlined communication, and it is a definitely more user-friendly tool. This is just a little example of how the current platform, CVS, I'll refer to it as 1.0 versus CVS 2.0. It's the same information that's provided in both. Just the way that you navigate the new platform is different, as you can see, and I'll get into more details. We'll be doing a live demo on how to submit an event in the new platform just now, but you can see that the information is filled out in different tabs versus here, everything is just in the same page, and I think it's much easier to navigate around the new platform. So some of the key changes in the system. This looks like a let's say heavy slide, but I'll just go through it step by step. The first thing is just some terminology changes. We did have provisionally compliant as a status in CVS 1.0, which means that if you don't have all the information, but the information that you have submitted is compliant, then you would get a status of provisionally compliant. This is no longer a status that's used in the new platform. The new terms are pre-cleared. So if you're applying for pre-clearance, then you can, and it's approved, then it will show up as pre-cleared. If it's under review, it means that the CVS officer has started reviewing the event. And if it's waiting for information, meaning that we have contacted you and we're waiting for you to get back to us with more clarifications or information regarding an event. Regarding some of the features, we can look that now you can actually save a draft as an option on the platform. If you start a submission and you want to go back and edit, then you can actually save your submission as a draft, and you can come back to it later and edit that submission or change anything within the submission. However, we do not see any drafts. So if you want to fully submit the event, and so we can actually start assessing, it must be submitted. But saving a draft is just for you to have it. If let's say you want to check on something and come back, then you can have it as a draft and you won't lose your submission. You can come back and edit as you wish. Now we can directly request for information through the messaging system in the platform. So everything is centralized, and we can directly contact you and ask for any further clarifications or any, let's say, more documents directly through the platform. The CVS officer can't change any submissions in the back end. For example, if you want to change the conference name, the conference venue, the dates, this cannot be done from the back end. So please make sure that the submissions are done with the correct information. I understand that sometimes some changes might happen, and we can work on fixing that. There's a way to support you with editing your submission, let's say. But please, it's important to make sure that all the information that's submitted is accurate, and so that it's, let's say, we speed up the process of finalizing an assessment. You can access the event from someone from your organization, meaning that, let's say, someone is not reachable within the from your colleagues or anyone from the organization. So all the organization events fall under the same tab. So if, let's say, someone, we want to get in contact with someone from your organization to ask for more documents or more clarification, and you're not reachable, we can, someone from your organization can access this event and make edits or reply or get back to us. So this is something very useful. The appeal process in the system is now separate. I mean, it's no longer in email, so you can directly appeal through the platform. You can change the submission up until we start reviewing the event. So if there's anything that you want to edit and the CVS officer did not start assessing the event, then you can make any edit, change the name of the event, change the venue, any edits can be done up until we start assessing the event, and then it will get blocked. We actually don't have a calendar of events anymore. We have a follow event feature. Where you can, I think this was already in the previous platform, but now you directly search for events using this link. There's no longer a calendar of events. And lastly, we do receive quite a huge number of double entry events. So this is a very, very useful feature in the new system where it recognizes when an event is submitted already by the conference name. So you can, if you are the organizer of the event, which most of you, I think, here would be, you can actually claim ownership of the event. So let's say some other company, let's say member company or society already submitted the event, then and if you are the organizer of the event and you come to submit the event, I will get into more details about this. You'll understand what I'm saying once we move into the next slides, but you can actually claim ownership of the event, and then you can adapt the submission, meaning you can change or add information to the submission. So we can move to this. So how to submit an event in CVS 2.0. So I'll actually go through a live demonstration of how to do this. Let me share my screen again. Mona, can you see my screen? Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So this is how the platform looks. I already logged in, but in the case that you're a new user, which all of you will be if you haven't already registered, the old platform is completely different than the new platform. They're two separate providers, and so no events, no accounts will get transferred onto the new platform. So you must register as a new user, register your company as a new company in the platform, and then you'll receive an activation, a very simple process. You'll receive an activation link. Once activated, you can log in, and then you can start with submitting events. So here you can see submit an event if you want to
jump in, Raba.
Yeah.
Just make sure when you're registering that your company is, whether your company is already registered or not. In case someone else from your company registered the company, then you would just click on your company instead of registering the company again.
Yes.
So just double check before registering your company.
Before registering the company again, yeah. Because there's a list of drop-down menu for the companies that are already registered. So if you don't need to re-register your company if the company name is already there. Thank you, Mona. So we have submit an event here. Overview of submitted events. If I just click on that, it shows all the events that were submitted. I think this is, let me log out. I think this is, yeah, give me 1 second. Yes, okay. So if you look at this is the overview of all the events that are submitted. So as you can see, all the events, let's say, assuming Mecomed submitted events, all the events under Mecomed will be assessed here and will show up here, sorry. And any events that require your attention, let's say we need more information, we're asking for more clarification for anything, they would fall under here, and you can also see it here. So if we start by submitting an event, this is how it looks. So event name. I'll just walk you through the submission, but we'll just give an example. Test event. Event type. So you can pick between third-party organized event or third-party procedural training. And if it's a standalone, then you would say, yes, it's a standalone. And if it's not, then it's not standalone. Remember that the third-party procedural training, we look at the venue must be a suitable venue. And also the agenda must, more than 50% of the agenda, let's say, must represent more hands-on training. So we'll just go with third-party organized event. The start date. Please remember the 50-day timeline with the start date. Any event that's submitted, let's say 50 days prior to the event start date, will not be accepted. So please submit your events as early as possible, even if you don't have all the documentation. Just submit whatever information is ready, just to avoid just to avoid not missing the deadline. So this will say, as you can see, if I put virtual only, virtual events are not assessed by CVS. We can go to, let's say it's in person, and here it's asking about the event website. The event website exists. If not, please explain or provide the URL. So if the website is not ready, then you can say that the website's not ready and will be attached soon. If the website of the event isn't ready, let's say the event website is ready. We will add Mecomed here. We'll add our Mecomed website. Okay. Sorry, this box. Okay. We'll add it here. And then, so first edition, all the events that are submitted on this platform are considered first edition for this year. So if this is the first time that you're submitting an event on this platform, even though it was submitted on the old platform, they're two different platforms, so it would be considered a first edition. So you would click yes here. When you come to submit next year, the next event on this platform, then it would be considered not the first edition. But all events that are submitted for the first time on this platform are considered first edition. Here you can add anyone from your colleagues that want to receive updates about the event. And here, if you are not the organizer of the event, then you can fill out the information. But if you are the organizer of the event, then you just leave it empty. We can save and next. Now we look at the event location. This is directly linked to Google Maps, so it is much easier to submit. The venue we have here, local Dubai, let's say this. The category of a venue, we'll put this as a hotel. The venue website we have here. So or we can just leave it empty. So we click save and next. How many passive delegates do you expect? We'll say 51 to 100. Where will the passive delegates mainly come from? If it's a national event, this only applies to Mecomed, but we'll say that this is an international event. Let's see. Delegates. What else? Just to point out here, if the event is 6 months prior to the event date, then you can go for a pre-clearance. It's mainly to check on the location and venue of the event. And you can always add more information to the submission once you submit it for pre-clearance. So you can edit the submission, and once all the information is ready, then you can fill it out and it can go for the normal clearance. So if we click save and next, financial support is coming, let's say, from Mecomed members and MedTech Europe members. If the event takes place in a MedTech Europe country, this is not applicable because the event's not taking. If the event takes place outside the MedTech Europe or Mecomed geographic area, this is not applicable. Do you anticipate that the event will be attended by at least one healthcare professional registering? Yes. And FPA, this is not. So we say no to this. And we can save and next. So now we either can attach the scientific program or we can put the link for it. So we have a scientific program here. Link, and we can add it here. I think this should work. Now we come to the catering question. So is there any sort of catering like coffee breaks, lunches, dinner foreseen at the event? We'll say yes. You answered that, so catering is foreseen. Other than the coffee breaks, the lunch, or the dinner, is there anything else that's included? So specify what sort of catering other than coffee breaks and lunches. So we'll say that there's a, let's say, dinner and gala dinner and a welcome reception ceremony. So is the catering paid for? We'll say it's included in the registration packages. Make sure that the information you fill out about the catering matches the information that you fill out in the registration packages. So if the dinner or gala dinner is included in the registration package, then make sure that this is included in this tab as well. Takes place at the event venue. Is there any form of entertainment? We'll say no. About the welcome and closing reception, we'll say it's included in the registration package. Also here, it takes place at the event venue, and we'll say no to this. So fill out the information as needed for the event that you're submitting. Make sure that the information matches if it's included in the registration packages, if it takes place at the event venue or it takes place at a different place, if it's a separate fee to be paid, if it's included, so please just make sure to fill out all this information accurately with regards to questions about catering. So if we move to the next page, we can see, so this is asking about the social program. If catering section does not already include this information, please specify if there is any sort of entertainment that's included. You can put yes or no. We'll say that there is no entertainment, and then we'll click Save and Next. So this is asking about, this is very important because in the previous platform, it wasn't always specific in certain events what are the benefits that are included with the package. So this makes it much easier to look at and fill out the information. So we'll say access to the scientific sessions, lunches, coffee breaks. Remember, we filled out here that in catering, this is included. So we will also check it. And here we'll say that accommodation is included in the registration package as well. And we'll put conference back. So is accommodation foreseen? We clicked it here, so it means it must be included in the registration packages. Which hotel is foreseen for the lodging? Please provide the name of the hotel. We'll just put the same hotel that we had. You can also provide the website of the hotel if need be. Then we can save and next. Here, you can attach any additional information or document that would be useful. In the case that sometimes some, let's say, smaller events don't have an event website, I know, so you can directly attach any document with regards to communication support, like a flyer or a brochure in this section. In the case that there is no website, or if the website is not ready yet, then you can attach the flyer or brochure in this section. So here you get the option, as I mentioned earlier, you can save a draft. If we save it as a draft, it will show up under here, but remember that it's not submitted yet. So this CVS officer cannot see this. So in order for you to submit it, you have to go back to the submission, go to here and submit event for review. Once you submitted the event for review, you confirm that this event contains all the correct information and you submit the event. And then now we can see the event and it's fully submitted on the platform. So let me now stop sharing and I'll go back to the slides. Can everyone view the slides? Perfect. So if we just go through some very important reminders, as I mentioned earlier, all the events that are submitted for the first time on the platform are all considered first edition events, even if the previous editions were submitted on the old platform. So remember, any event that you come to submit now, and it's the first time that you're submitting it on this platform, then please make sure to select yes for it being a first edition. You can save a draft on the system, and this does not mean that the event is submitted. So please make sure that you click on the green submit event for review so that we can actually assess the event, as we do not see any drafts. So when we request for information for an event, for more documents, we can directly message through the system. And this is the red bubble there, which tells you that we have reached out, and you'll also receive a notification by email as well. Also, I'll point out, you see if we are still waiting for information, this is how the status will show up. So as you know, if an event was finalized as non-compliant on the platform, then there's always the option of appealing, and it can be filed by an event organizer or a healthcare organization or a member company. Documents and justifications may be shared, and this will get forwarded to the compliance core committee where they will assess the appeal and all the documents and justifications, and then a decision will be taken within 10 working days from the appeal request. This is the icon that you use to appeal. You can do it directly through the system, and you can provide all the reasoning and documents through the platform directly, and no more emails used. This is the duplicates and ownership feature. So I'll explain a little bit more about it. So as you can see, if an event already exists on the platform because it was submitted already, the system will directly recognize this, and this will show up. Please make sure that if the event is already submitted, that it's not submitted again. But if you are the organizer of the event, so you can actually claim ownership. We don't receive this request. The person that submitted, or the company that submitted that event, is the one that will receive this request of claiming ownership. So it's not actually the CVS officer that has to approve this. It's the person that did the submission. So if you are the organizer, then you can claim ownership of the event, and you can start once they approve this request, then you can adapt the submission, meaning you can change the event details and edit the submission as needed. This is how the search for events platform looks. I shared the link earlier, and it's also on the Mecomed website. If you want to search for an event, there is no calendar anymore. You can provide any of the event details and search for the event to keep up to date with the status. And we also have the follow event feature. If you want to follow an event and receive the updates about the status of the events and what's the newest change, then you can follow the event and you'll receive updates by email. So checklist for submission. Make sure that the scientific program is attached or linked in English. All the details about catering and what's offered. And make sure that the details filled out in catering match the what's filled out in the registration packages so that the information aligns. All the information regarding the fees and the benefits that are included with the registration fees. Any information about social activities or entertainment, and please make sure that it's specified if any entertainment is foreseen and subject to a separate fee, and that this is clearly mentioned on the website. Any other relevant information that is needed for assessing the event. If there is a previous edition already submitted on the platform, then please specify the EMT number of the previous edition. Also, the event website, brochure, and flyer with all the information about the event. This is just some very important key dates to remember. CVS 2.0 launched officially, as I mentioned, on February 1st. The old platform will be discontinued after February 28th. So any event that's submitted on the old platform after the 28th will not be assessed. However, any event submitted before 28th will continue to be assessed on the new platform, so there's no issue with that. Like I mentioned, they're two different platforms, so no event will get transferred, no information will get transferred, but we are still having a grace period, so we'll continue assessing events on the old platform up until the 28th of February. Anything after this will no longer be assessed on CVS 1.0, and we will be fully moving to CVS 2.0. So, but we also encourage you to start using the new platform. It's much better, let's say, and easier to navigate through and to fill out all the information and to, let's say, get a more a shortened version of how to submit an event on the platform. You can scan this QR code, and we also have all the information under this link for the Mecomed website.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, we'd recommend for you to try to submit an event before the 28th on the new platform, just so if there's any issues, we're able to help you manage how to use the platform, etc., before we discontinue CVS 1.0.